Hi Leo, welcome back to the channel and welcome to your May 2020 Tarot and Astrology reading. If you're new here, my name is Tani Michelle. We are not all love, light, twin flames, and unicorns over here, so please keep that in mind. Yes, I know we are doing things differently. I'm showing you guys the cards because it's just easier for me to do these videos, these monthly videos like this. And yeah, I just wanted to switch things up. I wanted to switch the way I did the monthly readings up as well, adding more cards and all of that. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into your reading. So we're going to start with your cards and then we'll move on to your astrology, and we may touch on some of your astrology throughout the reading. So basically, Leo, there's a lot going on and I kind of feel like you're torn, okay? I'm kind of getting this sense of feeling torn, and it makes sense because the sun and the moon came out as your theme of the month of May 2020. So there's kind of this energy of feeling torn. I feel like a part of you really is passionate about something, and a part of you really shows that you're passionate. You may even be kind of showing something on the outside, but on the inside, like you're feeling something differently. And I feel like this part of you on the inside feels very like neglected and cold, but it's subconsciously kind of driving you to do things that you don't really want to do. It's like getting in your way. Like you're trying to do the things you love. You're trying to really work on the things that you want to do. You're really trying to stay positive and to really do the shit that you want to do, basically. But there's this kind of subconscious layer in you, this subconscious part in you, of you, that is kind of going the opposite way, okay? And I feel like it's kind of holding you back. You have tons of ideas and you are feeling more confident, and you are really stepping into this area of confidence, I feel here. But at the same time, there's this other part of you that is almost feeling a little bit alone and shut off from the world. And that's kind of what I see here this month, Leo, is you're kind of retreating, you're kind of going within to really integrate this other part of you, because that's personally my own belief, is integration, like not necessarily opposing this part or trying to fight this part, because we do that and still it ends up controlling us subconsciously. So obviously that doesn't work. But when we actually kind of take time to sit with this part of us and to listen to this part of us, then things can really start moving forward. And Leo, I feel like your pride is kind of hurt in a way, or you're feeling a little bit neglected, or like you don't matter, or I kind of feel like you're stuck in something. Like there's something that you're stuck in. There's kind of like this feeling of really wanting to move forward with something, but also not sure at the same time. It's like this conflict that's going on inside of you, and I feel like you're hiding something from yourself. Okay, there's definitely something that you're hiding from yourself, and I feel like maybe you've been kind of getting all these different signs and all these different synchronicities lately, but you've almost been ignoring them or something along those lines. So let's move on to your other cards. So we have the Eight of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. So this is basically the first part of your month. So once again, you're really working on things. You have a lot of creative ideas. You are learning about new things. You are putting your skills to work. You are maybe even learning new skills. Some of you could be doing something with creative writing, creative communication in some way. And you're really thinking about how to almost do something new, how to take your old work and do something new, which also brings me to the raccoon. And that's what the raccoon is all about. The raccoon is, basically the artist, but he's very shadowy and he can sometimes hide behind a mask. And that goes very much so with what I'm getting off of this sun and moon card for you as well. It's like you're the sun, but you're almost kind of envious of the moon in a way right now. And it's kind of weird, to be honest with you. So yeah, I feel like you guys are maybe even comparing yourself to others. There's something that others are doing around you that really, really is bothering you in some kind of way, or you're like, I don't want to be like that, or I don't want to be like them, or I don't want to end up like that, or something along those lines. So you're really trying to take in new ideas and form new creations and create new things for yourself. You're working really hard, and you have this like clear vision of what you want, but there's something like really holding you back. And we have the Moon card twice, by the way, but we'll get to that in a minute. So anyways, moving on. So then we have the Hanged Man and the Ten of Cups, okay, for the middle part of your month. And I kind of feel like, you know, there's a lot of like energy here of just meditation and going within. It's a lot of internal energy. The Ten of Cups is external. The Eight of Pentacles is external, and the Sun is external, but all the other cards that you have are very internal. Okay, so it's kind of like this, like I said, these opposites, these polarities, that this conflict that's happening within you, where you're kind of like, I need to do XYZ, but something's stopping you and you don't understand what it is. You don't understand why you can't just do it. And this is what it is. With the Ace of Swords, then the Hanged Man, and the Ten of Cups, you need a new perspective. You need to get completely clear on what you want, but you need to look at it in a new way, which is why we have all these opposites. It's like you need to look at it in a different new way, or you need to do something new. Either you need to take what you were doing and somehow get something new in there, just like me doing this video. Instead of filming like in front of the camera, I'm just filming the cards, and I'm adding more cards because I wanted to freshen things up. And I've been feeling a lot of the way that actually like I relate to a lot of this reading so far. So I get it, but it's like you need a new way of looking at things. You need a new perception. So you may start feeling a little bit stuck towards mid-month, and we are getting close to Cancer season, which Cancer season can be a time of reflection for Leos because it's the sign right before yours. So, you know, it can bring up some kind of hidden stuff, but we'll talk more about that next month. But basically, with the Hanged Man and the Ten of Cups, you need to reflect on your dream. Okay. And I think also like your vision, like what it is that you want. What is your vision? And I think that's what's really bothering you here, because you have this vision, but something is almost like not working out. Something is almost like holding you back. And also, there could be a sense of almost like feeling stuck with family as well. For some of you, almost feeling like you're looking at a family situation in a new way towards mid-month as well. And that could really also bring up some new perspectives for you as well. But it's definitely kind of taking some time to come to terms with something, to get new insight on a situation. So moving on to the end of the month, we have the Moon and the Hermit here. And these two cards are very much about reflection and inner reflection and all of that. And I know, I get it, guys. Like, I feel like we've already been doing tons of inner reflection. And we just had that freaking full moon in Scorpio, which was very, very intense and very much so about our personal lives and our inner reflection and our family, our roots, our homes, things like that. And so this is about really coming to terms with what it is that you want. Starting to do things for you again instead of other people. And not comparing yourself to other people or comparing your success to other people, which I get it. It's very hard. Okay, it can be very hard to do that. And then in this Moon card, we even have the opposites with the black dog and the white dog. You know what I mean? It brings back that duality again, that polarity. And so I think this is really taking time to understand these blockages that are going on in you, to understand what it is that is holding you back from your journey. embracing the moon and letting yourself come back to you, because that is how you are going to understand what you want. That is how you are going to understand what's holding you back. And I feel for some of you, it has something to do with either other people or comparing yourself to people, because we keep having this reference to boundaries. Okay, we have the card boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? And then we also have the octopus, which is very similar to this. Like all the hands around the octopus is all about boundaries as well. Where do you need to establish better boundaries in your life? You know, the octopus is very social, and it stands for, you know, being very social and intrigued and curious about conversations. It can kind of be Gemini energy as well. I really kind of pick up a Gemini energy on this. And there's a lot of Gemini in the next couple months, you guys. And we're going to talk about that when we get to the astrology. Very intelligent, okay? So, and I also am getting, you guys may be connecting with people online, okay? So some of you may be doing something creative or some kind of creative project or have some kind of creative vision online, connecting with people. Now, for some of you, you are spending too much time online and comparing yourself to people. And that's where this kind of raccoon comes in. Like I was saying, the raccoon is very creative. It's the artist, but it's like the artist in hiding, the artist in shadows, or the artist that, you know, hides under a mask or that stays anonymous. And that's kind of the polarity here, because the sun's out in the open, the moon comes at night, right? The octopus wants to like mingle, but the raccoon wants to stay in the shadows but still be noticed, but kind of behind a mask. So there's kind of this theme here of like, who are you and what do you want? And I think you're kind of battling with that, Leo. You're like, well, I don't want to have to do XYZ, or I don't want to be like XYZ or whatever, which is still comparing, even if it's not like, oh, I want to be like them. I mean, for some of you, that could be the case too. And there's definitely a lot of learning this month as well. I see you guys really learning something new, or learning a new skill, or reading, or researching. And I think boundaries comes in with, you know, possibly family. Some of you could be sacrificing a lot of, some of you guys could be sacrificing some things for your family, or because of what your family may think. For some of you, this could be friends with all this Gemini energy, which is a place for Leo that's very much so about friends and social groups and social circles, and all of that's a very social month. But at the same time, with that Venus retrograde there, Leo, and with that Sagittarian 5th house south node now, it's very much about not being as self-righteous with your creativity, and not being so opinionated about your creativity, or and this is something you're going to have to come to terms with. It's something I've had to come to terms with as a Leo rising. You know, I've been kind of feeling the same way, like, oh my God, I do not want to be one of those tarot readers that just says the same shit over and over and over again, just blowing smoke up people's asses, just making people feel better, but it's all fake. Like there's nothing real, or there's no meaning behind it. And I've been really struggling with that. It's like kept me from posting. Like that's been my shadow. And, and so that's something that I'm working on, and I do see this being worked on this month because we have soul work. Okay? So there definitely is some soul work going on, I see, for you guys this month. And then we also have the Seeker. And that's that energy of like, really wanting something, the Sun, having this creative vision. Some of you guys need to get into something new, some kind of new work that's going to open you up, or somehow take your work or creative abilities, creative projects, and do something new there. Okay, that's what's really, really going to help you. And also some space, having some space to yourself with the Hermit and the Moon here, having some space to reflect, which I really think is going to start happening towards the end of the month as we move into Cancer season, or I'm sorry, Gemini season, but Mercury is going to move into Cancer. So the next card we have is longing for home, belonging, the original light worker. So I definitely know that you guys watching this are probably really feeling a calling to somehow help or to somehow entertain people, to somehow bring your sunlight, right? Leo is the sun, to bring that sunlight to the world, but there's something holding you back. And it's something that deals with yourself within your shadow. It may be a fear. Okay, it may be a fear. And I think for some of you, it deals with other people, like you versus other people, or for being alone or being unseen. And that may be something that you need to face. So, for your astrology cards, you have the 8th house, endings and beginnings. You have Black Moon Lilith, mystery. And then you also have the air element, communicating. So that's interesting. So like I said, some of you guys could definitely be doing something with writing or communication, or really reaching out to people, connecting with a lot of people or groups of people, or taking a course. This definitely could be learning or going back to school for something for some of you, or just like learning on your own, taking an online course kind of thing. I know I'm teaching a course right now, my tarot course. So yeah, that's really cool. And then we also have Black Moon Lilith, mystery. And the 8th house, which goes perfectly. So once again, shadows, you know, and Mars does move into our 8th house this month, Leo. So, and Mars rules our 4th house and our 9th house. So when it goes into our 8th house, we're going to be doing some deep reflecting about our own personal foundations, and also our own philosophies, our own visions, our own way of looking at things. And this is going to help us create this new vision. Okay, by going in the dark, we can actually create the light. Like, seriously, creation is done in the dark. You know, when you bring a baby into the world, the baby is formed in the mother's womb in the darkness. Creation happens in the darkness. So I think it's time to step away a little bit. You can still communicate with your friends, and I mean, you can do whatever you want. Like, I'm not trying to tell you what to do or anything, but I would just suggest maybe having certain boundaries with people, really taking some time to yourself, really addressing and facing any fears that you may have that are really holding you back. And you may have to write about it. You know, I think writing about this, Leo, would be a really good thing for you, because it would be able to help you identify what the hell this is in your shadow and your subconscious that is keeping you from moving forward in the way that you would like. And you may end up, you know, with the 8th house here, this may be some kind of transformation that occurs, that you end up coming to a whole new perception, a whole new way of looking at it, which ends up really propelling you forward in a new way that's going to be more received by others, that's going to be more respected by others than you even thought of before. Okay, and also with the 8th house and Black Moon Lilith, some of you guys could be also working on some psychological things this month, also some healing, some deep healing, because Pisces is our 8th house, and so Pisces is very healing. And then also even maybe like some sexuality stuff could come up as well. Something with your partner's finances could come up that may need to be addressed around that time, so as well. So let's go ahead and get into your astrology. So like I was saying, this month, it's Taurus season, and then we move into Gemini around the 20th of the month, Gemini season. So, and this is the part for us, Leo, that is very much so about career, social circles, friends, the different networking and different ways that we communicate with people, the different trends that are going on, and we're noticing these things, but we're also very much so recognizing more of our truth. And Saturn is retrograde this month in our 7th house, which is making us a little bit more reserved. It's making us a little bit more responsible, especially when it comes to other people and relationships. Like, we are expecting more in relationships now, okay? We are expecting, we are starting to see that we know what we deserve. And that's why I was saying, like, there is a level of confidence that I really see coming up for Leos this month. Now, for some of you, this could play out in the opposite way, where maybe your partner is expecting more out of you or something along those lines. But yeah, so Saturn in that 7th house is really kind of possibly making our relationships, our significant relationships with people, a little distant. It's making us kind of want to be on our own sometimes, or have alone time a little bit more often. And Venus is also going retrograde mid-month in our 11th house of Gemini. So once again, friends, social circles, gains, our wishes, our hopes, our goals, our dreams, like what we envision for ourselves in our lives. And so this could bring back a lot of exes, Leo. This could bring back a lot of old flings, old acquaintances, old friends, people from school. Just all these different kinds of people may start rolling in, and you may find that it's a pretty social month. And that's why it's very important to have boundaries this month, like we were talking about, so you don't get too lost in it. Because like I said, there's these two kind of parts of you that are really coming through this month, of wanting to be the light, wanting to be out there and shining light on people and being noticed, being in the spotlight. And there's this other part that's very like, I just want to be alone. I don't, and once you embrace this part, if you look at this card in this deck, it's like she's sitting on the iceberg and she's staring at these two other icebergs. And so she can see things from a new perspective, right? It's like almost like the moon brings in a new perspective where we integrate the two parts. We see that they're both the same. And that's where integration happens, but it happens in the dark. It happens by basically addressing your fears, addressing the darkness that, we want to kind of push away normally, right? Or that we're taught to push away, or that people tell us to push away, or just focus on the positive, which is basically fighting the darkness still, So anyways, and then like I was saying, Mars is going to be in our 8th house in Pisces. So this is also going to be pretty interesting, and it's going to be aspecting that Venus in our 11th. Okay, so there may be some things that come up with friends where you're not 100% sure if you can trust them. Okay, so you may want to watch out for that. Things may not be what they appear with friends or with even relationships, especially if you meet someone new. I would say this month isn't great for meeting someone new. I would say that, okay? And then, yeah, so then we also have Jupiter retrograde in the 6th with Pluto. Okay, so this is definitely bringing up our own inner power when it comes to our day-to-day routines, our workplace, our work life, what we need to change. Okay, what internal changes we need to make and understand when it comes to our health routines, our work, things of that nature. And I think by the Gemini new moon on the 22nd, it's going to really start this whole new beginning. So after this month, which is full of like self-reflection, change, inner transformation, and inner journey, once that new moon hits around the 22nd, things are going to start making a little bit more sense. Things are going to be a little bit more clear. We're going to have a new perspective by then. Okay, we're definitely going to have a new perspective by then. And I do just want to get one more card to kind of see like what happens, like how this month ends for Leo. Okay, so we have the Three of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. So this is awesome. So towards the end of the month, I could really see this month kind of ending with you guys for Leo, as you guys may be working together, okay, either with your two integrated parts or with other people, maybe collaborating with other people or other people helping you to build what it is that you're wanting to build, which means that you're kind of balancing things out, and you may have this new vision, these new seeds that people are helping you plant, okay? That people are helping you plant. So I think it's going to end very well for you, Leo. So anyways, I will see you guys in my other videos. Make sure to subscribe and that your notifications are turned on. I've been getting a lot of people saying that they're not getting my notifications. So make sure that you have notifications turned on, because I do plan on posting more videos this month than just the sign readings. So anyways, I love you guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in my other videos. Bye.